first live stream on Twitch. This is a new platform for me, so I'm gonna give this a shot. Let's see. I don't know things like, how do I see chat? There we go. Maybe this works. Can I rip this out? That'll work for now. Using chat collapse. Okay. This will work for now. Cool. I think I'm the only one in here. How do I live? Chat only? Chat only. Okay. That should work. Why can I do chat only here? Well, I'll take it. Let's put the chat over here. All right. All right, welcome to Twitch here. I think I'm the only person in here. All right. Let's post this some places. All right. Cool. I don't know what category I'm in. Oh, let's get into a category. Science and technology, IRL, English. Yes. All sounds good. Shop. Let's build a robot. Okay. Cool. I think I'm still the only person in here. All right. Let's see. All right. I'm just dialing in all the settings here, making sure encoders are working and whatnot. Alright, well, I guess let's post it to Twitter. Right. Okay. Let's see if we get some new folks in here. Hello, hello, hello. We got a few people trickling in. This is my first time on Twitch, so there's probably a whole bunch of things that aren't set up yet, but let me know if the stream looks good. I'm still dialing in encoder settings and camera setups and whatnot. Sweet, awesome. Thanks, Litzy. Great, perfect. Well, welcome to the new shop. This is Strange Parts' new headquarters here in Picaris Pueblo in New Mexico, way up in the mountains outside of Taos. And yeah, this is certainly where I'll be spending the winter and probably a good portion of next year with the way things are going in the US. Wow, we got 26 people in here now, awesome. Y'all must be from Twitter. Welcome. It's been a while, and yeah, I'm pretty excited for the new shop and to get back to making stuff and making videos. And I thought I've been doing a bit of live streaming. I've been streaming on Reddit for the past, I don't know, week or so, and that's been fun. But I thought I'd try out Twitch. I think it's a bit of a better platform for what I want to do, and I certainly can get more bits through it than on Reddit. So yeah. Irish Blondie, what's up? This shop is in Picaris Pueblo, New Mexico, so in North America. About 45 minutes up in the mountains outside of Taos. Hello, Ross Vlogs from Scotland. Good to have you here. Yeah, good evening to y'all. It's about 4:45 p.m. here. Sun's starting to go down since new daylight savings went into effect. I've got a dog underneath the desk chewing on a 2x4. Hopefully that'll keep him occupied for a while. Maybe not. You gonna come say hi? Yeah? Oh wow. Lofi, that's from France. That's late in the evening for you. Thanks for tuning in. All right. Hello from Italy. Awesome. Awesome, awesome. Oh, the dog just farted. He's got the worst farts in a clear room. We'll see if his attention span lasts for this stream. I just went out and played fetch with him. We'll see. He's about 1.5 years, so his attention span's borderline still. He's got the worst digestion I have ever met. I've not met a dog that stinks as much as he does. What are you doing? Go chew on your 2x4. Here. Here, chew on this. Here, get it. He's also like a total chipper shredder, so boxes, 2x4s, firewood, bones, whatever he can get his hands on. Whoa, dear. Apparently he's gonna do it underneath all the camera equipment and the lighting. Come here for a minute. Come here, come on. Go lie in your bed. All right. Yeah, he's pretty cute. He's a handful, but no, go over there. Go over there, lie down. All right. Hopefully he won't wreak too much havoc here. All right. Hello, Ireland. Funky you from Ireland. Awesome. Would I ever do a teardown of an Apple Watch? I don't know. Yeah, maybe. I don't feel like... I've tried one teardown on the channel. I did the teardown of the Insta360 camera, and that was not watched by very many people. So I don't know if I'm going to do a lot more teardowns. I feel like there are other channels that people watch for that. I don't know. I'm surprised nobody else has done a teardown of the Series 6 Apple Watch yet. Hey, Richard. It's good to see you in here. My friend Richard from Hacker Paradise back in Vietnam. Good to see him. All right. So, welcome to the new shop. It's the secret part of this, which is not so much a secret, is that this. So I'm on the Picaris Pueblo Native American Reservation, which is a few hundred people here in the mountains in New Mexico, and it turns out that the tribal governor is and has been a fan of strange parts for a while, even before I showed up here, which took me a while to figure out, but because he didn't know I was here. So anyway, he has been very generous and given me some space to build out a shop. The funny thing is, this is attached to the gymnasium. This is actually the men's locker room. So I have converted it into a workshop. It's a very odd-shaped room. It's roughly triangular with a corner cut off behind the camera. And so it's a little bit weird, but I have built pretty much everything you see in this frame, except for this table here, and then the one in front of me, this one here. But the rest of the furniture and stuff I've built out. So that's part of what's taken me a while. I have also covered all the walls to make it look like concrete. It was a very white, boring, industrial locker room feel prior to this. I'm gonna turn up the background lights a little bit. A little bit dark on camera still, particularly if we're gonna talk about it. Hang on one sec. There we go, that's a little better. Now you can see it, and that's all its glory here. Hey, Nanographs! Yeah, it's a very bizarre location. We were talking offline, one of the problems with being in a locker room as a shop is that, well, on the plus side, it has great ventilation. It has two big ventilation fans in the ceiling. On the downside, it doesn't have much electrical, because who needs electrical in a locker room? So it's got one 20 amp circuit to two plugs, one on that wall and one on the far wall, which is not nearly enough for what I want to do. So I've run an extension cord for a second 20 amp circuit, and I'm hunting around for a third. I've been using that second circuit for the welder and things like that. So, but it's a limiting factor. There's not going to be any big machinery in here, I don't think, unfortunately. Yeah. The dangling Raspberry Pi, I need to get a longer cord for it. It's to run the 3D printer. I'm going to run Octopi on it. I've been having some weird problems though. I had it up and running, and it just kept dying in the middle of print jobs. Like it would lose connection with the printer. So I don't know, I gotta figure that out. But yeah, still in New Mexico, Mattis. I expect to be here probably through next summer with the way things are going in the US. This is a pretty safe place in the middle of nowhere with not that many people around. And the tribe here is doing a really great job keeping everybody safe. You know, they've got a checkpoint set up. Nobody who doesn't live here can come in other than essential workers. They've got construction workers coming in, that's about it. And even the package delivery guys just leave stuff at the checkpoint. You know, it's pretty effective quarantining and whatnot. And now I've got a space, so making the most of it. Oh, you're welcome, Fishy Case. I'm glad you've enjoyed the signed Grumpy Van Gogh, Grumpy Cat Van Gogh. It was a custom circuit board I made last year as part of the Dauphin Oil Painting Village video. Lachlan, I did not get any tools here. I have restocked an entire shop, and I'm still in the final stages of it. I gotta get some test gear in here still, and I'd like to get a CNC mill and whatnot. All of my tools are stuck in China. They're in a storage unit in Shenzhen, and I'm paying monthly on it. I don't know when I'm gonna be able to get them out again. So yeah, it's been a long process to mail order everything I need to equip a shop here. No large textile manufacturing machine rebuilds, Nanographs. I'm surprised you remember that. I definitely had the idea to buy some used machines I'd love to buy like a used mechanical loom and get it working again, but no, that's not gonna happen in here. Yeah, that's not in the cards yet. I think probably I will look for another space similar to this next year, early next year, something like that. This obviously isn't sustainable in the long term. Yeah. Yeah. Yes, Urson, yes, you have seen me in iPhone videos. I'm actually gonna start working on iPhone stuff again. I've ordered 2 iPhone 12 Pros. No, 12 Pros? 12s. And those should be coming on Friday, so crack one of those open and see. I'm curious to see whether, you know, they still don't have USB-C, so, you know, we'll see what can be done there. No land sailing happening, unfortunately, Richard. It's too mountainous here, and we're actually under a curfew here. So one of the deals in living here on the reservation is that I gotta be home in the house I'm staying in every night at 10 p.m. No overnight trips. If I take it, I can take an overnight trip, but it would require a 14-day quarantine when I come back. So it's a pretty expensive prospect to take a trip. The Tech Prof, that is the thought, is to add USB-C to the iPhone 12. So yeah, no paragliding either. No hang gliding. That's pretty much on pause right now because of COVID. It is a beaker with a handle that I got, that I'm drinking out of. I got this off of American Science and Surplus, which was my favorite catalog when I was a kid. And they're still around, still putting out the catalog, still selling cool surplus stuff. So, I went through and got a whole bunch of stuff for the shop, to, you know, random bits and bobs, random switches and tools and things, and I ran across this, and it was too good to pass up. So yeah, no late nights in the shop, Nanographs. I got to be out of here by 10, so we'll see. It might be negotiable, but right now, yeah, I've been keeping it you know, more or less working hours. This is a 4-legged helper, though I don't know how much help he is. This is Ambrose. Come up here. Say hi. Come on. Come on. Come on. This is Ambrose. He's the shop dog. He's not mine, but I take him during the day. And he lives in the same house as me. And he's about 1.5 years old and a big handful. He's currently climbed all the way up in my lap. Yeah. And so he comes down here and keeps me company and creates chaos while he's down here. Yeah, okay, time to get down. Go lie down. Where's your 2x4? So he mostly just shreds stuff while he's down here. Cardboard boxes, 2x4s, firewood sticks, things like that. So he definitely a handful, but it's better than being alone all day. Yeah. 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 Okay, that's enough. That's enough. Go lay down. Go lay down. Where's your 2x4? I gave him. Oh, here we go. He's been working on this for a couple days. This is his current project. You want this? Go lay down. Yes, he definitely wants to play. He just played, so I was hoping he'd be chill for a little bit. We'll see. He wants to chew under the desk right now. What equipment do I miss the most and why? Well, up until recently, it was having a microscope, but I just got this microscope in from Sumei in China, my microscope hookup. We spec'd this out over WeChat, and then she sent it to me. I ordered it on AliExpress. She sent it to me. I'm still missing one part. I'm missing a Barlow reducer lens for the bottom, which decreases the magnification by half, but increases the working height by 2x. So it's really good for, you know, when you want to get a soldering iron underneath there. Right now the working height is like, I don't know, 4 inches, something like that. bump it up to 8 inches, you got a lot more room to work. And honestly, it's too zoomed in right now to work. I can't see enough, particularly with the field of view of the camera is less than the eyepieces. So the field of view of the eyepieces is like okay, but the camera is super tiny. So, so that's been a limiting factor. I just, she swore it was in the box, or that the factory should have put it in the box anyway. And I just double checked, it's not in there. So she's gonna, it sounds like she's gonna send me a new one. The translation's a bit iffy on what's happening, but we'll give her a couple days to see what happens. Oh wow, nanographs, that's, I've not seen a 0.4x. I've mostly seen 0.5, and I just checked on Amazon and there's some 0.7s as well. But the Tech Prof, why don't I stream on YouTube as well? I don't know, this is my first time streaming on Twitch, so I figured I'd try it out. What I have heard is that, particularly on bigger channels, subscribers don't really like it if you post periodic videos to the channel and live stream on the same channel, just because of notifications and stuff. So if I live streamed on YouTube, it would probably be on a second channel anyway. And to be honest, it's it feels a little bit better to diversify on platforms a little. If I'm like super YouTube heavy, it just means if anything bad happens with YouTube, all my eggs are in one basket. So so my current thought is to build out Twitch and see how that goes. Yeah, that's my current thinking, is like live stream on Twitch, videos go on YouTube, you know, and arguments go on Twitter. Ross Vlogs asks, how much does a ticket cost to Shenzhen from the UK? I don't know, you'd have to look it up. It's also really crazy right now with COVID and whatnot. I was finding great deals from the US of like, I don't know, I think I was spending like $300 to $400 round trip sometimes flying economy, like LA or San Francisco to Shenzhen. I'm trying to remember. It was not much. It was often the same price or cheaper to fly to Shenzhen from LA than it would be to fly to New York. We'll see if that continues. I mean, airlines are a mess right now with the pandemic, so I don't know. Yeah, $400 is a crazy deal, but those were like, I was regularly seeing deals in that price range. Float plane, I don't know, like float plane's such a niche platform. I know the Linus Tech Tips crowd obviously loves it. I have been having a hard time figuring out what the benefit would be to being on there, other than Linus and crew are nice folks and you know, are good to other creators. But it certainly doesn't seem to be a platform to gain lots of new followers and subscribers and viewers. I don't know. I'm still waiting to hear like the compelling pitch. It very much feels like it's still in sort of alpha last time I looked at it. So yeah. Yeah, that's the current platform thinking. Wow. Yeah, Timon says any large European airport to Hong Kong is like 300 to 400 euros for the cheap flights. Yeah, I don't get it. I don't understand how the economics of that work, but they do. Have a good one, Ross Vlogs. Yeah, thanks for tuning in. It's good to have you in it. Yeah, it's good to be back. Yeah, Lachlan, I'm here on a Native American reservation. I'm staying with friends, one of whom is a tribe member, and so it seemed like a pretty good place to quarantine, and we're making the most of it. But it's we're definitely way out in the sticks. There's literally wilderness right out our back door. We had a mountain lion come down to the house, not 20 feet from the house. I saw a bear out on a hike earlier this summer. There was a mama and her cubs wandering through. So we're out in real wilderness. You know, there are definitely a handful of logistical challenges that come with that. ranging from packages taking a long time to get here. Anything I order on Amazon takes a week. There's no, next day delivery. And, things like going to Home Depot is a, 2 hours round trip. It comes with trade-offs, but I think overall this is a pretty good situation. Thanks, Dr. Roberto. I really appreciate that. Yeah, 370 euros from Hamburg to Hong Kong is bananas. I'd be curious to know what the prices are like right now. Let's look at it. I'm curious. All right, let's see. Let me get this pulled up here. Let's look at a kiwi is my favorite. Okay. So, I want to fly from, I'm just curious, from LAX or SFO. Let's do all of the San Francisco airports to Hong Kong. And like, I don't know, let's go anytime in November for 2 to, that's fine. Let's look. Oop, leaking my email address. Okay. So this is return. Yeah, like 525 bucks right now. And that's, yeah, there are definitely cheaper deals than that. Fishy case, I definitely will make more videos here. That's the plan. That's why I've been building up this shop. Am I going to make a video specifically about life here or my time here? Probably not. Maybe on a second channel. I've been considering setting up a second channel to do stuff like that, but I probably won't put something on the main channel. I feel like people wouldn't be super into that. So a couple of people were asking about China. What happened to my place in Shenzhen? So I got kicked out of the apartment that I was in. They remodeled it. It was not like I didn't have a lease. It was a like what's the best way to describe it? It was you could rent by the day or by the month. And it was sort of like the cross between a hotel and an apartment building. So it was like a business apartment. I'm trying to think of the word. So I had stayed there on and off over the whole time pretty much that I was in China. They took care of things like utilities and internet and things, which being not a fluent Chinese speaker made life a lot easier. And it was kind of a de facto like hacker hotel, hacker apartment building. There were a lot of other folks that stayed there over the years. And so I usually had at least 1 or 2 friends living in the building, which was nice. You could always count on someone being there to, borrow a soldering iron or a component or something from. Yeah, they gave me 10 days notice that they were going to remodel and I had to be out, and I was currently in the US at the time. So by the time I got back there, I had 3 days to pack up and get out. And so fortunately I had some good friends help me pack up and get everything loaded up into storage. And then I kind of bounced around. I was staying at hotels for a few months and looking at getting an apartment and getting a workshop space, and that just didn't quite come together. And part of that was realizing, I wasn't that enthusiastic about really investing in a long-term life in Shenzhen. It's hard living there. It's hard living abroad as a foreigner, and it's particularly hard living in China as a foreigner. And there were some aspects of life there that I just wasn't that enthusiastic about. Like the dating scene was kind of rough. Things like culture and nightlife, just things to do outside of work just weren't that plentiful, like, or there wasn't a lot of depth to it. And so I loved my work. I loved the videos that I was making. I loved being in Shenzhen to make things. But life outside of work, after a couple years, just got to be a bit repetitive and wasn't as exciting as I would want. So, so that's kind of the gist on Shenzhen. I rethink that decision all the time, and I'm very much looking forward to going back. Dog's raiding the trash for cardboard to chew on. I'm very much looking forward to going back. And the current plan is to do a number of trips throughout the year and spend a fair amount of time there, but not really invest in like building out a full workshop, factory, whatnot. And that's all predicated on this pandemic ending sometime soon. So, good to have you, DeBaser. Yeah, it's good to be back in front of the camera. Julio, yeah, I did meet a number of Chinese folks that became good friends. I also met a number of foreigners there that became good friends. So I definitely had a friend at work, but also Shenzhen's a little bit like San Francisco. People come there to seek their fortune and to make a bunch of money, and that's really kind of the focus, is like, it's all about like career, and Shenzhen's even more short-term than San Francisco. It's like come for a year and make your money and then go back home kind of thing, whether it's foreigners or Chinese people. And so it's kind of this revolving door. You make a friend and then they leave, and then you make a new friend and then they leave. And so if you're there long-term, it feels a little bit like Groundhog Day after a while. Yeah. How did I finance a new shop? Well, I was lucky enough that the governor of Piggeries Pueblo here is a fan and hooked me up with the space, and they're letting me just use the space without paying rent, which is awesome. In terms of financing everything you see here, yeah, it's all out of the company savings, out of Strange Parts LLC. So, so I'm looking forward to making some videos and getting some sponsorships and cash flowing again. Definitely been bleeding down the company coffers here, but it's good. You know, it's most of my equipment's in China, and so it's good to build out a proper shop here in the U.S. Honestly, this is my first like proper shop. You know, I'd been working out of an apartment building in China, but it's not quite the same. So I've got a welding setup here. I got a compressor, shop vac, drill press. Look, we're doing it right. So 3D printer here, and looking to get a CNC mill in here. Probably something small, just because I don't have much power, as I mentioned before. But yeah. Robot Army says, dude, sweet shop. Yeah, thanks, man. I have worked really hard to build it out. It's still a work in progress, but... Hey, get out. What are you doing? Hang on. I gotta take away the trash. No! You knucklehead. I don't know how much longer the stream will go if the dog won't settle down. Here, eat this. Go chew this. Come on. Come on, get it. Go get it. Go lay down. Go lay down. All right. Jazzy, no, I have not brought anything with me from China, pretty much. It's all sitting in a storage unit. It's driving me nuts. I cannot, nanographs, the compressor and the welder are on separate circuits, so yes, I can do that. But if they were on the same circuit, I'd totally blow it. So, shop tour, yeah, we can do a little bit of a shop tour. I don't have a camera I can carry around easily. I gotta figure out the, like, iPhone, actually, well, I know there's a way to stream an iPhone to the computer to Twitch, but I haven't done that yet. We'll do a little bit of we'll do a virtual tour here, which I guess all tours via Twitch would be, but give me one sec. So, over there in the corner is welding. I built myself a halfway decent welding table, you know, metal topped, you know, plate steel topped. Got kind of woodworking and general assembly here. There's a bunch of tools underneath, so chop saw, belt sander. What do we got? We got the green welder underneath there, over there, shop vac. There's a compressor in that dark spot underneath there. Drill press, you know, angle grinders, things like that. Behind me is, I've started to build up a hardware inventory. So this is all stainless steel bolts and nuts and various mechanical hardware. And then tools, and this shelf is glues. There's a tape shelf. Gradually building up an inventory of all the various things that I might need for projects. It's a lot harder to get stuff quickly here, just in the US in general, but particularly up in the mountains like we are. It's, you know, there's no, like, I can get I can get next day delivery if I pay through the nose for it, but there's no like Amazon next day. It's like McMaster-Carr and DigiKey, you know, sending stuff priority overnight over FedEx. 3D printer here. There's a sink behind this shelf, which was the hand washing sink in the, you know, in the changing room when it was a changing room. Got a microscope here. I have a desk right in front of me that I've got another camera set up on. So this is right in front of me here, and then I got the microscope off to the side here, and you know, soldering iron, and so this will be kind of where I'll do a lot of the electronics assembly will be here, and then I've got a desk here and a desk to this side. So this is kind of the, you know, hack on iPhones area. And then I've got a giant, so one of the problems that I had, this was not part of the original plan, one of the problems I had was when I was doing like metalwork and woodwork, I was getting dust all over like the microscope and in the computers, and it was just creating total havoc. And I was like, you know, this is not gonna work. So I got a big old curtain. So I put up a big old clear, like a welding curtain, but not orange, that goes across the shop and can kind of contain some of the dust. And then I got an air filter, not like a HEPA air filter, but like the wood shop air filter that pulls all the wood dust out of the air. So I run that a couple hours a day just to try and keep the dust and the dirt down to a dull roar. So yeah, the curtains worked out really well so far. I'm pretty pleased with it. It's if nothing else, when I angle grind stuff and I send sparks flying, all those little metal particles are not ending up on the desks. I was just, you'd wipe your hand across the desk and it would just be black. And so I've kept that down to a dull roar. It ended up being a bit more expensive than I thought. It was like $500 in parts, and it ended up being a whole bunch in shipping. Cost me like over $100 just to ship the curtain rail, because they had to come freight because they were 10 feet long. So that was a bit of a McMaster-Carr fail, because McMaster-Carr never tells you what the shipping is ahead of you paying the shipping and it arriving, and so that was a little unexpected. But I think it's going to be worth it, just so that I'm not getting metal shavings in electronics, which is yeah, a total nightmare. Yeah, air quality monitor might not be a bad idea. I probably need to get at least a carbon monoxide monitor and a smoke detector in here. There's a fire system in here, so there is at least a handle to pull. But I don't know if there's actually a detector in here. There's a flasher on the wall, a strobe on the wall, and then I've got a, you know, in case of fire, pull handle. But I got to work on that. I've got a fire extinguisher at least. So. Yeah, Timon, I'm same boat. Like, it's rough having a computer in a shop is what I am learning. For a while I was just getting, you know, like I'd touch like the mouse and the mouse would grind against the desk because there was so much crap underneath it. But since I've got the curtain in place, it's a lot better. I've also been doing less grinding and metalworking and stuff now that I've got a lot of the furniture built out. Lachlan, I don't have an oscilloscope yet, but there is one in the mail for me. I'm blanking on his name. Daniel from Keysight, which is a manufacturer of all sorts of test gear, has been super generous, and he hooked me up with a multimeter when I was at SuperCon last year. And he saw the tweet saying I'd built out a new shop, and he said, "Oh, dude, let me hook you up." So he's got an oscilloscope on the way, and he's because he had one in stock, and he's gonna work on some other test gear. So so I'm super thankful to Keysight for hooking me up there, and we're gonna get some proper test gear in here for some of the stuff I've got planned. Yeah, this Logitech G502 is working out pretty good for me. I have not, like, I had a $5 crappy mouse from the markets in Shenzhen prior to this, and I'm digging it. I'm not a huge gamer, but it's pretty solid. I really like, you can, hang on, let me switch cameras. I really like that you can pull off the bottom and adjust the weight. It makes me feel way more elite than I should be. Way more elite than I should be. So these little, it's got these little 3.6 gram weights that come in a little case here. And you could adjust the weight and the weight distribution to your liking. Which just feels super extravagant. But it's nice. I don't know. Like, I like a mouse with a bit of heft. So yeah, it's pretty fun. And then you can change the colors on the LEDs, and you can make the scroll wheel click or not click and things like that. So I've got a dog mauling me. So yeah. TMKRR, I don't know what you mean by, do you plan on moving all of your equipment to the OS? Don't know. Have I remapped any of the buttons? I haven't really remapped any of the buttons. I realized that, I don't know, I haven't figured out what to map them to that would be super useful. I don't really use, I don't know, yeah, I haven't really figured that out. Mytherian, wow, that's super generous. They asked, do you happen to have a parts tools list of things you're looking to use or try out? And then they offered to donate stuff if they've got it. That's super generous. I'm trying to think, I've bought a lot of stuff already. Certainly when it comes to like hand tools and hand power tools and things like that. The biggest thing I'm trying to source right now is I'm trying to figure out a CNC mill. I don't have a ton of power in here, so I'm not gonna get like a proper, like a Bridgeport or sorry, I got the dog of chaos here. Hey, boy, what are you doing? What are you doing? Here. Play a little fetch while we chat here. I'm not gonna get a Bridgeport or you know, like a full standing, you know, proper machine shop mill in here. But I don't know. I was thinking, Timon, I was thinking like one of those 30-40 like desktop sort of deals, or maybe maybe one of the other mills. I don't know. I mean, that's the biggest thing that's held me back from getting one, is not really knowing what I want yet. I'd like to be able to do aluminum on it. I'd love to be able to do like something the size of an iPhone, at the very least. But I was thinking I'd want to do steel, but honestly I haven't really thought of anything that I would need steel for. So probably something that just can do aluminum is enough. What are you doing? He usually sleeps in here, and every stream I've done on Reddit he's slept through. But I guess Twitch is gonna be an exception. I don't know. Oh, okay, that's enough. Here. Here. Are you tired of me giving you a stick? You know what I might do? I'm gonna kick him outside. Because we're on the res, like, I can just literally throw him out the door and he goes off and has adventures and comes back, and nobody cares one way or the other. I think I'm gonna do that. I'll be right back. It'll stop me from getting eaten alive. Come here. Out you go. Ooh, it's getting dark out there. This whole daylight savings thing is messing me up. Ugh. Oh wow, Mytherian, I didn't expect you to actually have parts for a CNC mill. Yeah, maybe we should talk. I'm still trying to figure out what to do there. I don't really know if I want to dive into making it a full-blown project, or if I just want to get something that I can, you know, that's set up and ready to go that I can use. Yeah. Yeah, I need to look at the Bantams again. I haven't seen the new Bantam. I guess I didn't know there was one out. Mobique, yeah, it's the clear curtain was actually inspired. I watched 12 Monkeys recently, and I was like, you know, that's what I need. That will solve my dust problems, and it looks pretty cool. I don't know. I've been playing with live streaming with it open and closed. I thought maybe it was going to be a bit more of a visual barrier and make it feel a little bit more intimate in this corner that I'm streaming in, but it's turned out to be more see-through than I thought. Oh, nice! I'll have to check that out, Timon. That new Bantam other mill. I hadn't seen that yet. And someone mentioned, I am blanking on it right now. Someone mentioned that one of the CNC mill manufacturers might be up for a sponsorship. So, Mytherian, thanks. Yeah, if you've got recommendations, I'm all ears. I have been really struggling to figure out what I want to do on the CNC mill front. I mean, I'd love to be able to do stuff like what we did in the headphone jack video, or we're drilling, you know, we're drilling out aluminum for iPhone case modifications. That's kind of the sort of thing I'm thinking about right now. And then I guess the other main application I'm thinking is being able to quickly mill copper circuit boards. And I'm kind of wondering if those are actually two different machines. You know, if I want something that's, you know, more like a Bantam mill size that's really, really accurate, and then something that's bigger and beefier that can do aluminum. I don't know. I don't have a, you know, I've run a Bantam mill and you know, I ran the mill we were using in the headphone jack video, but I really haven't run a lot of machines, so I'm not super experienced when it comes to mills. So yeah, if you've got recommendations, I'm all ears. Okay. Yeah, Timon says the other mill Pro and PCB Bantam is quite okay with aluminum. So my biggest fear there is just really small, but if the new one's bigger, maybe that makes a lot of sense. Tormach is the company I was thinking of and I was blanking on. I'd love to have a Tormach, and I have a friend who is, but he's in the robotics industry and tangentially knows other influencers and stuff in the tech making industry, and he said that they do regularly sponsor people. So it's possible I get them to hook me up with a machine, and then the challenge would be one, space, which I think I can squeeze it in here, but two, power. I'd have to figure out how to get more power in here, because that thing's not going to run on a little dinky 20 amp circuit. So, yeah, TMKRR. Yeah, I guess they've been sponsoring a number of channels. So I could probably get a loaner machine. Is my thinking. Yeah, I guess they just came out with a desktop model, so that's worth checking out. Lachlan asks, do you have any suggestions for a microscope usable for electronics assembly? Yes, I do. I have a favorite microscope vendor in Shenzhen. She's the one that I bought this from. It's Min's Vision. If you search for Min's Vision on AliExpress, and I actually got her to put together a custom package on AliExpress of what I bought for my first microscope, and I made a video about it. I think the title of the video is "A Boy and His Microscope." So if you look that up on YouTube on Strange Parts, there's a link in the description of that video to that package. It's like roughly $300, and then you got to pay shipping on top of that. And it's a trinocular microscope, so it's got 2 eyepieces, so you can see in stereo, and a camera that has HDMI out, and a light, and like it's everything you need. And a number of folks have bought it and been really happy, and I've been really happy. This microscope is a slight upgrade from that. It's the same basic microscope, but I've got a better camera on it, and I've got a nicer stand now. So there you go. Robot Army, thank you for linking to that. Let me see if I can easily show the microscope. So this is, well, it's a weird angle of it, but this is the microscope that I've got now. So it's the same basic head, it's black instead of white, and I've got a nicer camera, and then I've got this boom arm on it. And it cost me quite a bit more. The camera was pretty expensive because it's a 4K camera, but yeah. Oh, really? That link isn't working? Let me check that. I've had some weird reports of that link working on and off. Let me look at that. Hang on. It works for me. Here, I'll post the direct link. Here's the direct link to that microscope. And it's $2.99. So yeah, that is by far my main recommendation. It's weird, it might be a country issue. I don't know whether she's got it blocked in certain countries or what. So if you're in non-US, you might have a different experience. Brazil, that is probably why. Yes. I'm reading Mytherian's suggestions about CNC mills here. Yeah, that sounds about right. Ideally, if I was in China right now, I would go shop around the markets and find a really good version of the like 3040 desktop model, and then have that to recommend to everyone watching. Recommend that to the audience the same way I did with the microscope. And I've been hunting around on AliExpress to try and figure that out, and it's hard, and I'm sure you all know this, like buying stuff on AliExpress and knowing what quality you're gonna get is really difficult. You know, you've got a whole bunch of machines that are essentially clones of each other, and some have got much nicer parts in them than others, and it's really hard to tell unless you can look at the thing in person. So, so that's been part of the holdup there. I think I'm probably just gonna cave on that and not worry too much about, you know, the sourcing aspect of finding something that's perfect for the hobby world here. Oh, nanographs, that's really good to know. Nanographs says if the field of view of the camera is too small, you might just need a different relay lens between the camera. I'm gonna ping you about that offline, because that is the situation that I've got. Maybe you can help make some recommendations there. Because yeah, it's much narrower. Yeah. Proxy PvP, why am I not in China? Hopefully it's kind of obvious, but the pandemic. I decided to, well, I was in the US when the pandemic started, and decided that going back to China sounded a little crazy when it started up, and then now travel is banned. You can't freely travel into China. I have a visa, but it's no good. So so it'll be a while before I can go back again. And similarly, I just talked to a friend in China last night, and she said, yeah, we can't travel anywhere. She's missing going skiing. She would go to Japan every year to go skiing, and she hasn't been able to do that. So Julio, was asking about how did I end up on the reservation here. I'm staying with close friends, basically. So, and one of them is a tribe member. So that's my inn here. Yeah, quarantining with friends sure beats quarantining alone. So that's the short version of why I'm here. Yeah. Reading Mytherians. They say, I went with mills that had open source, this is back to the CNC mill, had open source designs or open source printable extrudable parts. So updating it to use a larger milling bed is just a matter of getting a longer extruded set of parts and maybe a slight code update. Yeah, that makes sense. I know there's a lot of DIY mills out there. I guess one of my questions is, are people really DIYing mills that can properly do aluminum? Most of what I have seen in the DIY CNC mill space has been folks doing, you know, MDF and wood and stuff. And I don't have a lot of projects that I can think of that I would want that for right now. Sir Eon asks, how'd you go from software engineer to electronics? I'd love to do something similar, but I'm lost when it comes to the world of electronics. I know basic embedded stuff, some AVRs, but that's about it. It's been all self-taught. I took a couple courses in college, but I've always been interested in electronics, and I kind of stumbled into programming as a career path, and then went to school, back to school to get a degree in computer science. And so yeah, it's just been diving into projects and getting it over my head and then digging my way out. So, you know, a lot of the stuff that I've done on the channel is new to me as well. You know, putting together an iPhone the first time, doing the headphone jack modification, that was a lot of learning, and it was a lot of learning that I did on camera, for better or worse. So, you know, the biggest recommendation I can say is just follow your passion. You know, find stuff that you're excited about, and dive in with both feet, and then figure out what you need to learn to get to where you want to go in your project. You know, I always think about it. For me, my career progression has always trailed my interest. So, or it's always been driven by my interest. So I've always dove into things that were interesting to me, and learned what I needed to dive further into that interest, and then I found jobs that needed those skills along the way, and I've kind of usually just stumbled into them. It's not always been super well planned. Debaser asks, do any of your old favorite phone parts vendors in Shenzhen have AliExpress links? Not really. There's a couple that not AliExpress links, but like, let's see, there's Union Repair. I'm gonna type these out. I think it's unionrepair.com. Have a good evening, Timon. Thanks for tuning in. It's great to have you here. I hope to see you again soon, hanging out. Missing hanging out with you at SuperCon. Yeah, so unionrepair.com is one. Another is it VIPprogrammer.com? So these are like, I'm a little bit hesitant to recommend these. Oh, hey, Greg. It's great to have you here. It's the whole SuperCon crew. So VIPprogrammer.com is another one. These aren't necessarily, well, yeah, these guys are like a mixture of parts and tools. Oh, VIP Programmer is also PhoneFix. Okay. I actually just ordered something from PhoneFix, not knowing they were the same. Yeah, it's great. We've got at least like 4 or 5 people in here from SuperCon. That's awesome. I'm really sad SuperCon's not happening this year. If you don't know about it, it's the conference that Hackaday puts on, hackaday.com. And it is my favorite conference of the year. I'm hesitant to even mention it in a Strange Parts video because right now it's just this small, intimate crowd of really awesome people that are all doing super interesting things, and I'm hesitant to I don't know. I don't want it to jump the shark, I guess. Yeah. Thanks, Mytherian. I really appreciate it. Have a good dinner. I might ping you later. I've been kind of just procrastinating on researching CNC machines because I just cannot wade through and figure out what I really want. But I appreciate the advice, and yeah, I might reach out here. Have a good evening. Yeah, so SuperCon it's over a weekend. It's in Pasadena, California. It's like a couple hundred people. And honestly, I don't end up going to very many talks because I just end up in so many awesome conversations in the hallway and out in the back. They have kind of a hallway conference out in the back parking lot. And I spend all weekend in the parking lot just having one awesome conversation after another with, you know, awesome folks doing awesome things. So literally everybody who's there could give a really interesting talk about what they're doing, and some actually take the effort to put together a talk, and others just show up, and so it kind of ends up being a who's who of the hobbyist electronics world, in my experience. Thanks, Mytherian. Yeah, I'm gonna do my best to make sure the dog doesn't destroy too much here. He's been pretty good so far. I occasionally have to take important cardboard boxes out of his mouth, but that's about it. Yeah, the hallway trek is really the best at conferences, and it's exceptional at SuperCon in a way that yeah, just blows me away every time. It's a conference I wouldn't miss for the world. So it's going to be online this year. We'll see how that goes. They're doing a ton of workshops, which I think is going to allow, hopefully will allow some person-to-person interaction. You know, that's my biggest fear is in, you know, I went to the Hope conference this year online, and I don't know, it just wasn't the same. So we'll see. It's coming up this weekend, I guess. So I don't know if there are still tickets. It's free this year because it's online. So you might check it out. I don't know what the current ticket situation is. Yeah, Nanographs is right. It's a really special part of the internet coming together in person. So they're really, really good people. So yeah. Well, I might wrap things up here. I was gonna do, I'd like to start speccing out a robot to build out. And maybe I'll come back on, I don't know, it's 5:40. I'm gonna wrap up here. I gotta use the restroom. So I'm gonna wrap up right now. I might be back in a little bit, but otherwise tomorrow. I wanna spec out a telepresence robot to build out, to run around the shop here, and get it set up to be remotely controlled over the internet for you. So that you can come check out the shop and drive it around, and it'll have a camera and some speakers, and I don't know, we'll figure out, kind of be a collaborative design here. So, so that's what's coming up. Thank you all for tuning in. It's really awesome to see some familiar names in here. Yeah, it's Nanographs and Greg and Timon. It's awesome to have you guys here, folks that I know from SuperCon. It warms my heart. So, and thank you to all the rest of you for coming along and checking out my first time on Twitch. So, I'm really getting into the live streaming thing. I've been hesitant to like commit to it, but I'm really enjoying it. So I think I'm going to do a lot more of this. But for now, I'm going to sign off. Maybe back in a few minutes. Otherwise, tomorrow. I'll see you all soon.